Market research has changed forever, and if you want to collect the data you need to inform your decisions correctly and actually grow and scale your business, you need to adapt to these new methods. The old days of hiring entire market research agencies, hiring dozens of researchers and test groups and doing everything manual are over. If you can be an early adopter of this new method, you're going to see growth like never before. In this video, I'm going to review everything you need to know about market research, the new way, and then take those learnings, build the best product possible, and market better than ever before. But in order to understand the new way, why it makes so much more sense to do that, let's look at what the market research process used to look like. You will hear two terms: secondary research and primary research. Primary research is when you collect original data yourself through methods like surveys, interviews, focus groups, gathering first-hand information specifically to your research question. While secondary research involves analyzing existing data that has already been collected by others, like already published studies or reports, Google Analytics data, Google Keywords data, to gain a broader understanding of the topic. Essentially, primary research is a new data you get yourself, and a secondary research is a second-hand data that you utilize to make sense of your research. I think the secondary research is quite straightforward. You can properly manage yourself, but primary research requires specialized skills, requires more planning and investment to do it right. If you look the universe of doing market research, you have what people say on the top, people's action on the bottom, the quantitative insight on the right-hand side, and the qualitative insight on the left-hand side. If you break it down into the research methods, if you want to understand what customers are saying, you do surveys, right? So they tell you X number % of people like product A. So it's designed to count things. But if you want to understand why do people say that, you will do interviews, one-on-one conversations. And then on the action side, same thing. User testing and user analytics help you understand what customers are doing and why they're doing it. It is very helpful to understand these metrics. If you want to understand what customers are doing, you do analytics. And this is why looking at analytic tools like Google Analytics and product usage analytic tools is very helpful. But if you want to know why they do those actions, you will find out through a method called user testing. I was an early employee of one of the top players in this space called usertesting.com, and they went public in 2021. So I know how powerful qualitative feedback is. The benefit of qualitative feedback is that the sample size you need to figure out the why is relatively small. So for user testing, we can come to a conclusion with just 3 to 5 user test results. For interview calls, you typically can see kind of pattern with just 10 to 20 interview calls. Those are really valuable and powerful. But the problem with qualitative insight is with small sample size, sometimes I found it hard to convince decision makers to make big investment on it. Quantitative insight, on the other hand, it has much bigger sample size, but it's missing the critical why insight to make it helpful. And all these research methods live in different kind of tools. They don't talk to each other. So that's kind of pain in the ass. I see a typical workflow traditionally is you hire agency or dedicate an in-house team, and then these teams will design surveys, study plans, recruit participants, collect the data, analyze and compiling insight into a report. Depending on the niche of your industry, this could take about 4 to 6 months or even longer, delaying critical business decisions. And in today's fast-moving world, by the time your research report is finalized, I think the market might have already shifted. And hiring agencies or doing it in-house properly is not cheap, right? It takes time and a lot of money. Plus, the insights are fragmented because traditional methods oftentimes either focus on the quantitative data, which don't give you the whole picture, or the qualitative data that's not scalable and a bit manually. These traditional methods kills your time, waste your budget, and give you a disadvantage even before you get started. So instead of doing that, let's look at the new way of doing things. And that's what we're seeing is the market research process that's completely being disrupted by AI, both in the secondary and primary research field. Because AI-powered tools like ChatGPT, Set.io, and Perplexity.ai, to name a few, are leading the charge and enable us to do things that were never possible before. In this video, I'll give you practical AI tools to AI-powered market research. If you stay till the end, I'll show you a real-life case so you can follow along to do your market research using these new tools and new prompting. First, let's look at some research tools. Let's look at the easy part, the secondary market research ones. Traditionally, we use like Google search. If you are e-commerce, you will look at the Amazon data, reviews, and then published data. So it's just a manual effort and requires a lot of hours to compile these results. In the new AI-powered ways, I'm going to replace a few AI tools to make your result more reliable and more time efficient. I'm going to use Perplexity AI to replace Google as one of your research tools. The main reason is time and efficiency. So when you are looking at Google research, Google is designed to give you top 5 or 10 best results with the link. And then you will need to read through all these 5, 10 results and come up with your conclusion. Whereas Perplexity AI will actually look through all these top 5, 10, thousands of things and give you the answer you're looking for specifically to solve your problem. So it's more direct. Secondly, customer reviews is really helpful because you can understand what customer like, what do they not like, what is the main complaint they have. Reading those reviews manually could take forever. So I found a data tool called Browse AI. It will help you scrape those reviews into Google Doc or spreadsheet, and then you can upload these information to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will actually process those data, give you structured result on that. I found those are really helpful. And now let's talk about primary research. Let's go back to the primary research chart. You do the surveys, you do interviews, you do user tests, and some of them are very good at quant, some of them are very good at qualitative. The good qualitative side is manual to get, the quantitative side lacks the valuable why part. What if I can find a tool that give you both the quantitative and qualitative at scale, not manual, and then keep all the data together and then use AI to automatically analyze the result to give me a complete picture of what the customers are saying and why they're doing it? Would it be great? But I think I just find this tool. There's a company called Dayset.io. It's created by the former founders that created the usertesting.com. So they come from the qualitative side. They use the AI conversation to engage audience. So you get the large scale where like the interviews and surveys can be delivered in a link, in a pop-up, in a QA code. So you get the at scale part, but you also get the why because the AI will actually dive in, follow up, asking people why they make those services. It also enables two-way voice to mimic the interview process. Instead of a human doing one-on-one interview with the customer, it's a well-trained AI doing interview for your customers. And then they also can do user tests as well. So you can upload logos, ask people which logo do they like better, upload videos, get feedback of your website, of your marketing content. So it's actually quite powerful. They offer a free trial account, so you can go ahead and try it out. If you still want to do some kind of manual research as well, manual interviews, I would recommend a call recorder called Fathom. It will basically summarize the call recordings in a way that's more digestible. I found this process will save you at least 10 times the hour and get a more accurate result, a bigger sample size. I wanted to show you a real life examples of how I do secondary and primary research using these new AI tools. Let's say I wanted to create an e-commerce site and I'm thinking about selling shoes. So I'm going to show you how I conduct my secondary research. I basically want to figure out some hypothesis here. What is the problem right now in the shoe industry? How big is the market size? Is that going to be a real need, a demand? Am I going to come up with a unique product? Who are the people who will become my target audience that will buy my product? What kind of product would I use to solve their pain point or their needs? Using what kind of pricing? So I'm going to have to fill out a blank of these things. And then the tools I'm going to use is going to be Perplexity AI to replace Google as the main primary research tool. Some people might say, well, why can't I use ChatGPT or Gemini to do the research? The problem is these large research models, their data source come from their training set of data, and they are not going to constantly use the fresh data that's on the internet. Whereas Perplexity AI, their data source is live, fresh on the website, and every result that comes with a credible source. And then for the browser AI is mainly for scraping internet for review data to understand your competitors. And then ChatGPT is my brain later on to analyze all the data that were collected. So let's use the Perplexity AI to figure out what kind of problem product people use. So we usually will start searching like how big the market is. So I'm going to ask what is the TAM for the custom custom shoes industry in North America. And it tell me, wow, it's growing. It's pretty big. You can see here on the custom graph, it's showing it's increasing. It did mention the United States is a little bit larger than the rest of North America. So I was wondering like, what percentage of the market is actually in United States compared to North America? Because when you're a startup, you might want to start small. And it says, oh, it actually is 96.8% and represent this globally. So it was like, why do maybe my market should be limited to in United States? And then I'm like, oh, okay, the impression of people with custom shoes is quite expensive. So different people using different price sets. So I'm trying to gouge the pricing on that. And, the cheapest one I can be seeing is as low as $25. This is just like simple customization. But my main problem of solving this thing is though that shoe is more comfortable, it's tailored for you. So I will continue to research this, but you got the idea of like, you just check on this and then fill out a blank on the problem, product, people, and pricing. So I actually come up fast fashion. So this is the problem is for the users. Everything's low quality. Shopping online for shoes is painful. And then also in the shoe industry, there are a lot of people who are returning shoes. Given all this problem, I'm researching and say, okay, what kind of product would I have? Number one is maybe I can have a personalized shopping experience. Maybe I can use 3D scanning technique to scan your foot using your app. And then that way, when you order the shoes, you can actually be more comfortable and reduce the return rate. Also, tailored shopping experience with similar to Stitch Fits. Like, for example, I would never wear anything under 5 inch of heel. So why show me all this flat? It's completely wasting my time. I had to skip through all that to get to the part I really want. So if I complete a sales survey, say, hey, only show me shoes that, and I was comfortable and fits my beauty standard, then it saved me a lot of time. As a mom, every time when shopping, it's so annoying to browse through bestsellers, find the boots, flats, and then find the shoes you want. What if you can just click me mode? It's such a simple filter, like your right shoe size, your right style that you prefer, the right material you're looking for. And then the other one is high quality handmade shoes that's affordable. Is that possible? And then how am I going to produce these high quality shoes that's affordable? I did some digging and I found a manufacturer in China that does shoes, and they offer a white label option, which I can put my own custom branding and my touch there. So look like there is a possibility here. In terms of people, originally when I was doing the research, I was thinking women will be my main buyer who will do that, which might still be. And then doing the perpetuity AI, it actually told me like men actually count for a larger portion of a shoe purchase of the custom shoes because they care about comfort more, which is complete surprise. So maybe I can't opt out the men, but at the same time, women accounts for less, but it's growing because people are starting to realize all these cool things. And then price, I commit down to this because I see all the other players, the top players like 4,000 or more, and then the lowest price is something like 200 to 300. So if I price it this, it will be making me very competitive and more likely to win some business. So now that you have these hypotheses, you're going to do your first-hand primary research to figure out, is this a real business? Do people want something like this? Who want it? And how much are they paying for it? Are they really going to pay for it? Earlier, we come up with the hypothesis that we might be solving using AI and 3D scanning to come up with custom-made shoes that's high quality and affordable. And we come up with the hypothesis is individuals aged 22 to 35 years old, and mainly male tech-savvy individuals who make online purchases. The price will be like $100 to $250. So I think this might be something that I wanted to go with, but will people buy something like this? Is this unique enough, and can I make money out of it? So before I spend all this money, making an inventory, produce these products and do all the stuff, let's test it out before we do it. And we're going to do this 2 or 3 times. If you're just starting this out, you need some website to train AI, and you need a layset.io account. You can sign up a free account. We'll design the right question. Luckily, you don't need a PhD to do that anymore. AI will help you do a lot of that. And then I'll teach you some creative way to get the results. Based on the information, luckily AI will actually analyze all the results in layset. So we don't need to go to 2 or 3 different places to gather that. One place is enough. Then use the information from your first round. We're going to narrow down your hypothesis and then repeat again until you're down to a very good niche that you think you have an invincible product that people will buy and you can make money out of it. Then it'll be time to spend some real money to do some tests. What I will do is at this time, you probably will need to set up a website and pretend you already have this product. And then you're going to spend $10 to $50 either on Google or Meta ads, drive some traffic and see if people will actually sign up for like a pre-order. Make sure you take care of the people if you feel like you're not going to be fulfilling their order on time, or you think you just can't fulfill the order. Make sure you refund the money or some kind of made up so that you don't damage your brand reputation. When I first started, I don't have a website. So I found a company that makes the shoes using 3D scanning technology. And then I also find a company that does handmade high-end quality shoes, but at affordable price. Cool thing is like, what if the price on the second one is more affordable and they have a lot more reviews? The first one just starting up. I kind of wish we can combine these two into the same company. That would be great. You have the 3D product, you also have high-end quality stuff, but we don't have a website on that. On our third or fourth review, we might be able to create a website that both have that. You can use AI to generate a website easily. So what I would do is I'll go to they said and then add a workspace. So I'm going to do this company, dawashoes.com. So I'm going to go to they said and then give this. So this is what the AI is used to learn about their business. Let's try it. Okay, so while it's doing that, as you can see here, I've already trained my first survey account using this first website. And it says it's a B2C custom footwear company that uses AI tailored footwear, offering custom fit, design shoes, unique shape, and comfort preference of individuals. So this is exactly one of the things I'm thinking I can offer. And then on my second account will require kind of an onboarding process. So now I have two accounts here. One tell me like all these shoes with specialized in handmade leather footwear. So this is high end and affordable. And the other one I have is the custom 3D shoes. So if you have one of the they said paid account, you'll be able to put the two website in a one account and then combine this. But I'm using their free account, so I just created two different accounts. So let's go into this one. I'm going to use this one as an example because it has one of the key thing about 3D shoe. Couple things you can do here. So there's a couple burning questions I want to know. I talk about a lot of elements in a shoe company, things like high quality materials, perfect fit, 3D scanning, affordable price, and delivery time. But what is the most important? Do they shop in person or offices? Because I'm trying to figure out like what is the niche I will offer my unique things. But the benefit is the AI will be turned on to ask why. Where do you typically shop? Online, physical, brand, website. On a scale, how important is the quality and biggest challenge you face in shopping? Well, I like this. This is a pretty good survey design. I quite like this. We talk about using the survey profile. So for example, you can actually create a survey using image to understand people. So you can actually ask people how much you like the style, why they like the style, what type of shoes on that. You can actually grab this link, copy it, and then put it on the other side and be able to see the survey right here. So this is really cool. You can actually do it on the phone and stuff. The benefit is when you select an answer, unlike normal survey, just count numbers, it's going to dive in deeper to ask me why I rated a 4. You can just kind of type it to it. And also if you're on the mobile phone, you can actually enable the voice so you can have that, a conversation with AI to figure out not only the what and the why with your different runs of the testings. I'm going to stop here and then let's go back to the they said account. Let's say you have all the surveys going out, some in the voice style, some on the test style. How do you get people to fill the surveys? I can give you a tip on that. Remember, our target audience is 22 to 35 young people making 150K a year to afford kind of a higher, slightly medium to higher end shoes. I'm thinking, where do these people hang out? I'm here in the Salt Lake City area. We have a lot of ski resorts here. Now, these ski resorts are not cheap. Each ticket is like $150 to $200. I think you probably only be able to afford this. Likely you're going to meet the people who are your target audience that can afford your shoes. And then in terms of doing surveys, it's all about give or get, right? How can we get something that's like really cheap? For example, I'm thinking about going to Amazon.com and find out like a cheap hand warmer for skiing. Okay, so I'm seeing all different kind of hand warmers. Ooh, Hugo, these ones. This is good. Hand warmers, $25, 40 pairs. So what I can do is I'll just go into the Amazon, buy a box of these, and I'll drive to that nearby place where your target audience will likely hang out on a snowy day. And on the bottom of the hill, when people are lining up for their ski lift, they're not going to be able to get on the ski lift quickly, probably like a 5-10 minutes wait. That's a perfect time to do a survey. So what I would do is, if you go back to the They Said survey account, one of the ways to get the survey is to publish it in different website. Because I don't have a website, I'm not doing email. I'm going to grab this QR code and print it in kind of a big thing. Or I can print it in a t-shirt, however you like it. And then wait at the bottom of the ski resort and ask people, hey, 2-minute survey for a hand warmer. So that way people can actually fill this out when they show on their phone, and then when they're done, they receive a hand warmer. And remember, because the data is qualitative, you don't need a big sample size. So your $25 hand warmer to get 45 responses, that's plenty enough for you to do that. And then once you narrow down the results, you just need to do several rounds of this until you get to a place where you feel like, okay, I'm having a product that people really like. And some people might be very excited saying, hey, when are you available? Let me do it. This is a time when you will build a website and then just spend that ad money, drive some real customer there to see if they will vote with their wallet. If they do, then I think you have a reliable business that could make you money. Then you start worry about inventory, manufacturing, and making this an actual one. At the end of the day, market research in 2025 is no longer about surveys and focus groups. It's about harnessing the power of AI and big data to gain deeper insights and make informed decisions. So embracing new AI technology to do market research is a life and death decision for your business, especially if you are small or solopreneur. After 15 years of working in startup and helping to generate 15 million revenue per year, I've seen what's really important and what consistently makes or break great startups. So click here to check out my next video where I literally just give away all of my best tips for creating and scaling a startup beyond where most people even dream of achieving. I will see you in the next one.